Good evening. I'm Socrates Garrett, and we're broadcasting live from right here in Jackson, Mississippi, the heart of the Deep South, right here in the African-American-owned broadcasting studio. We believe Digital.com, our own platform. And so it's critically important that in the African-American community, we control the narrative. I look forward to receiving opportunities to show and advertise your products for goods and services and to move your brand along in this community. We're broadcasting live on Facebook. When We Believe Digital Podcast, go to Roku and download our app, and We Believe Global, with shows like this to bring articulate, intelligent conversations and dialogue to our platform. So I'm here to continue sounding the alarm. This is how the South is going to rise again. And welcome to Socrates Garrett Live. We're broadcasting live from right here in Jackson, Mississippi, in an African-American owned and operated broadcast studio. We're being seen all over the world in over 139 countries. You can find this program on YouTube, on Facebook, on Roku TV, and our very own platform, WeBelieveDigital.com. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, we want you to share this program with your friends and families and send us stars. We need your financial support to keep this program going and to expand our reach in the marketplace. If you're watching us on YouTube, we want you to go on and subscribe. Now, if you're watching us on WeBelieveDigital.com, that's our very own platform. You know, we didn't come into the marketplace just to be sharing things with Facebook and YouTube. We build our own platform. And yes, we're on those other platforms and we'll continue to be there, but emphasis is on the development and the build out of WeBelieveDigital.com. Now, why is that important? It's important because we have the ability to chronicle and archive the stories and the people that will be with us forever in our archive. So I was looking at the TV last night and I went back and studied a little bit about Marcus Garvey, and I studied a little bit about Ida B. Wells, etc. And I quite frankly was impressed that I had access to that information. But there's so many stories that are untold, so many individuals that have done dynamic things in our community that we don't know anything about, and there's no record of whatsoever. So We Believe Digital intends to fill that void and make absolutely certain that we not only support and control the narrative, but that we archive it and that we are keepers of that knowledge. So today I have a very special guest with me, Sharon Bowman. Sharon, how are you?
I'm well, sir. Thank you for having me.
It is absolutely my pleasure to have you. I just want to share with the listening audience that I have known you most of your life.
I know. Very long time.
A very long time. And you're a young person, but I picked up on you at a very early age. And of course, your mom was an outstanding person in the community and a member of New Horizon Church as well. So I know Sharon Bowman.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege and an honor for me to have you here in the studio.
Thank you.
But now you have some things on your mind. So I want to give you an opportunity to share with our viewers and share with the world just who is Sharon Bowman and how did you arrive at this point?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for having me here. Some people I've told this to, but I guess this is the big reveal. I am running for state representative office.
Wow.
District 56, that is in Hinds County, the Clinton, Flora, part of Madison, backs up to Bolton, backs up to Raymond. In other words, Philip Gunn's old seat that he has relinquished.
Well, Sharon, I that's breaking news. And so now you get it here on We Believe Digital.
First, you heard it
here
here
first. Sharon Moman is running to fill the vacant seat of Philip Gahn. Philip Gahn is the current Speaker of the House in the Mississippi House of Representatives, and he is not running for re-election. So that seat is vacant. And Sharon Moman has just announced that she is going to claim that seat. Now, tell me a little bit about that district.
So it is all of Clinton. It's a part of Flora. It goes up to Williamson Road to Bolton, McRaven Road to Raymond, to the Raymond line. It's part of Madison County. I don't have the exact space there, but it backs up to the Madison County. But it is a winnable district.
And when you say winnable, it's based upon the fact that not only is it majority African American,
yes,
but also winnable because of your outstanding credentials. Now, Sharon, you wear a name of Moman, and I believe that you're also a real estate agent.
I am.
Tell us a little bit about your career in real estate.
So I've been in real estate for the last 7 years. I have loved this industry because I get to make dreams come true, especially for the least of these. We have so many single women who want a home, and no one really takes time to say, hey, I'll guide you through that. They're on to the next, and someone who's ready right then. But I have clients who will call me, and I will make it my business to sit and listen to the story, because I was that girl. I was that person who made some inappropriate decisions regarding credit and everything else. And I sat and telling my story, and I said, you will own a house. We're going to believe this, and I'll pray with you right now. And I do it all the time. And 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, we're at the closing table. And I'm there crying with them.
So prayer is a big part of what you do.
Yes.
Sharon, I believe that you are a minister as well at New Horizon Church. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you don't go talking to your bishop all the time. Something will happen. So Bishop and I talked about a subject about really a divorce recovery ministry, right? And he asked me to join the minister in training class. So I joined, really didn't know what that was going to lead to. I thought I was just joining the class to learn more about, ministry. Didn't know I was really in training to be a minister. I did not. But I learned so much. He's a great teacher, great discernment, great revelation, just wisdom beyond what we could comprehend. So now I give my first sermon on Wednesday night, February 22nd at 7 o'clock.
I will be there.
You told me you were going to come when I did my first one. I think you were joking, but...
No, I'm absolutely coming. Now, so you studied under Bishop Ronnie Crudup at New Horizon?
Correct.
And I believe that you're also shepherded by Bill Washington, who is assisting you with your campaign?
No, he's not.
Oh, well, he's not?
But he's not.
Okay. But I spoke to him on Sunday, and he said that you were certainly one of his favorite people, and he asked you to call me.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I know that you're being guided by 2 or 3 of the most influential people.
Right.
And you certainly have my support. Now, I have to be honest and admit that Mr. Manziel did have a conversation with me about him running for this office.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I didn't know exactly what your plans were. But let me just be clear. I have to support Sharon Moman because of who she is and who she stood for, and her family and all of the contributions that family has made. Many of you may not know, but Sonny Moman was the first African American to open a real estate office in Jackson, Mississippi, and basically train every other agent that came through there. And I talked to Earl Banks yesterday, and the Banks and the Moman family are all intertwined. And so you have some prominent people in your circle that I know are going to be assisting you in trying to get this done.
Absolutely. I talked with my ex-husband, and he is supporting me on board. He's very, very happy for me. And that just goes to say, that, when people understand what's at stake.
Right.
there are a lot of things that are at stake right now in Mississippi.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about things that are at stake. Right now, we have a situation in Mississippi where the state of Mississippi seems to be, I say, invading Jackson, Mississippi.
Yep.
And there are several bills out there that have caught the attention of African Americans, electorate, and citizens. Mm-hmm. And one of those is House Bill 1020.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about that bill.
So House Bill 1020, that is the bill that wants to take the funds away from Jackson. No, I'm sorry. That's the central. The Capital City Improvement District bill. They want to expand their territory, and in expanding their territory, they also want more governing power, which means that they want their own judicial system within the district. They want their own policing within the district. So Jackson police won't have authority. The judges for Jackson, Hinds County, won't have authority. And I tell people, don't think of this as a little Jackson problem. When you go to a Jackson State game, you could be pulled over. You don't know what's on that person's mind while they're pulling you over. We know that a lot of people are innocent being pulled over and being shot. You know, there are a couple of investigations now that are going on. I don't have all the information, so I won't speak on that. But, you know, with the Capital City Police. So all I know is what my mom used to say, you give them an inch, they take a mile. Mm. We know our history of things being taken away from us. I have I put myself a little binder together about Reconstruction, the Reconstruction era, mm-hmm. right? And about the legislators who were in power, you know, after, you know, when during the Reconstruction period, when they were trying to make sure that enslaved people who were now freed had the power that was due them. And a lot of our people were in power, including Mr. Alexander Davis. Mm-hmm. He was the lieutenant governor. I did not know we had a black lieutenant governor for the state of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because not many of us know, because we don't teach African American history in the schools in Mississippi. Right. Matter of fact, it's banned. Mm-hmm. And so it's certainly, if we had a black lieutenant governor, you'd think we ought to have a black Speaker of the House. Exactly,
absolutely. Or just you know, and here's another thing. There are 174 legislators in the House. There are only 15% of that number are women.
Oh.
That's not equal representation.
No. And what's the population of Mississippi in terms of African Americans? I've heard that it was as great as 42% African American in the state.
I believe that it is, but I did look at the data for the gender, and I saw that it was 52% of women. I did not look at the data yet for the African, but I will look at that.
Okay.
But if you've seen it, I believe what you say.
Okay, so right. You're seeing that 52% of the citizens of Mississippi are women, female.
Right, and in my district, it's 54%. So wow. I'm saying again, that district is doable.
It's very, very doable. Now tell me a little bit about the industries and the staples in that district and the kinds of things that you would be working on as it relates to your platform in regards to healthcare and other things.
So better healthcare, better Mississippi, because healthcare affects everything. It affects, you know, your way of life, your mental health, going to work, being a productive citizen, paying taxes. Everything goes back to health. If we don't have health, we don't have good health and good health care, then we can't be productive citizens. Taxes won't be had, right? Mm-hmm. So in Clinton, we have we're growing, and it's part of Hinds County, so we are connected to Jackson at the hip, whether people want to believe that or not. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have development there with the tire plant and other little small industries that are coming there. We got a big development that's coming on Spring Ridge Road, but we're not growing as much as Madison in Rankin counties. And that's because we got Hinds County attached to it. And when I tell people what happens to Jackson will happen to Clinton, and then and trickle out. But my platform is Better Healthcare, Better Mississippi. When I got ready to run for office, I did not know exactly the reason why I was being pulled to run. And then I learn more about the issues that were going on with, declining services at rural hospitals and Merit Health in South Jackson. I found this article in Mississippi Today, which states, the name of the article is "They Cried, Black Families in South Jackson, the NIC closure," and that's the Neo Intensive Care Unit at Merit Health. So if a South Jackson woman goes into premature labor, and that's the closest hospital that she's delivering at, if she delivers her baby, and that baby needs to go into the Neo Intensive Care Unit, there is no Neo Intensive Care Unit at Merit Health. That baby has to be transported to Flowood.
What?
They are sending all of the services that are needed to these other suburbs where income levels are much higher.
So you mean to say that the baby will be separated from the mother?
Separated from the mother. I mean, we're talking about, that's a mental health issue, that's a physical issue, because if she's a mom like me, I'm like, well, my baby go, I go. But I should be resting. I should have peace of mind.
Right.
And that's what's going on in the city. It's so many different things that they're doing, not this county rather, I'm gonna say Hinds County. There's so many different things that are happening in Hinds County. When we're looking at one fire, there's another fire. So we got health care that they're taking away from Hinds County. They're trying to take away the authority in Hinds County. If we don't get people and elect the people to go down to that state house to stand up for the Mississippi State Constitution and understand how to pass bills and fight against the bills that they're trying to pass,
we're doomed.
We're doomed.
Now, you bring such relevant information and something that our citizens need to be aware of. Decline in health care services in Hinds County is a real problem. And it's a problem throughout the entire state of Mississippi.
Yes.
And those decisions are often affected by the legislation that's put forth at the state capitol.
Right, right.
So an individual needs to run for this position because they want to take on that fight. The fight of the flag being removed was one major victory.
Absolutely.
That we had here in Mississippi. But this House Bill 1020 that you were mentioning, there's other bills to take over the water department that's floating through the House. There's a bill to take over the revenue from the 1% sales taxes floating through the House. We need strong representation.
Yes,
Sharon.
Yes, absolutely. I could not print. This is my second Bible, y'all. I'm printing out these bills to read them along with the constitutions and the Robert's rules and all that kind of stuff to abreast myself so I can do a good job when I get there. I want to be ready on day one. So the House Bill 1020 that we've been talking about is 771 pages. I'm gonna ask Sock, because I had like a little cheat sheet that I had regarding the bill, but I had not printed out the bill and read it itself. But Sock, I read this first sentence here. Can you read that? Oh my, they're not even trying to hide anything.
An act to create inferior courts in the Capital Complex Improvement District, CCID, to hear all matters occurring or accruing in the boundaries of the Capital Complex Improvement District, to provide judges for the districts that shall possess the same qualifications as circuit and chancery court judges, to provide for the appointment of the judges, to provide for the salary and operating allowances of the judges, to require the Attorney General to appoint attorneys, prosecute cases within the district to require the state defender to appoint public defenders for defendants who fall within the jurisdiction. And it goes on and on.
771 pages. But this is what the act to create inferior.
Sharon, we're on a break here. We're going to have to take a commercial break. This is Socrates Garrett Live, and we're broadcasting live from here in Jackson, Mississippi. And my guest today is the Honorable Sharon Moman, an individual that has prepared herself to take on this work that's so desperately needed. And so we're going to take this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection. Giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippiLink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Welcome back to Socrates Garrett Live. We're broadcasting live right here in Jackson, Mississippi, in an African-American owned and operated state broadcast studio. And we're being seen all over the world in over 139 countries. You can find us on Roku TV. You download our app and you'll see us sitting right there next to Showtime and Netflix. We Believe Digital Podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube at We Believe Digital Podcast, you can find us there. Go ahead on and subscribe to us there. If you're watching us on Facebook, we want you to share this program with your friends and families. We also want you to send us stars so that you can help promote this network. If you're watching us on WeBelieveDigital.com, then we want you to hit the donate button. And WeBelieveDigital.com is tremendously different than all other platforms because we have the ability to run multiple programs at the same hour. For example, on Sunday mornings, we can run Bishop Ronnie Crudup at New Horizons Church, and we can run Bishop Dwayne Pickett at New Jerusalem Church at 8 o'clock, both at 8 o'clock on We Believe Digital platform, because they have their own individual channels. And so all of this information will be chronicled and archived here for eternity. It's tremendously important. Today, we have the honor of having the Honorable Sharon Moman in our studio, a young lady that has prepared herself, comes from a great family, deals in real estate, and has been called to take on this challenge of a legislator. And so, Sharon, it's good to have you in the studio today. And tell our viewers a little bit again about who you are and things of that nature.
All right. Well, the district is 56 that I'm running for, and I'm turning 56 this year.
Okay.
So, so I was like, okay. I'm a mother of 3 young men, Kenneth, James, and Sean. I don't have any grandkids yet, so all my money goes to Ralph Lauren. Prior to real estate, I worked in the legal industry. I worked for Mike Espy for 5 years, and I worked for Butler Snow for a number of years. They say, you know, I grew up all over Jackson. My mom, I called her a gypsy. She moved everywhere. And my mom was an activist, and she was the most courageous person I ever knew. And I used to sit like, you know, I didn't know what that meant, right? To be so courageous, but she had experiences that caused her to be there. And that's where I am in my life right now. this was not on my vision board to run. I was working on Moban Realty, the brand, and working on becoming a developer in a few years. And then this opportunity, and I call it an opportunity because it is, presented itself. And I said, okay. I wasn't sure. Even when I went and completed my paperwork at the Democratic office, I still wasn't sure. But now I am sure, for a time such as this, that myself and other people need to get to that house and make sure that we stop another insurrection.
And so you're talking about current legislation that's been proposed that has adverse effect on minorities, in particular in Hinds County and the city of Jackson.
Yes, sir.
I believe House Bill 1020 is one of those bills.
Yes, sir.
Could you share with us a little bit about that bill?
So that bill is regarding the Capital City Improvement District, in which it wants to expand their territory. They only have so much territory right now, and I do not have the exact number, but they want to expand that territory with authority, force, and power. So the authority being they want to replace the judges who are elected to handle the cases regarding any issues regarding the law, criminal or civil, right? So they want to create a district where they have their own policing power, they have their own judging power, and their own prosecutors. And what's really offensive about that is they want Jackson's or Hinds County taxpayer money to pay for it. Wow.
Now, so I assume then when you get there to the legislature, you will vote against it.
I will vote against it and anything similar to it. Such as Senate Bill 2889, which talks about the water district that they want to do. The as everyone says, the grab money bill.
And so you will be a champion for the rights of African Americans. Now, tell me a little bit about females and the number of females in the House of Representatives or in government in Mississippi. What does that look like?
So in Mississippi, we have 174 legislators, and 15% are women, and less than half of that 15% are African and female women.
Wow. Only 15%?
Only 15% are women total, and then less than half of that 15%, so roughly 7% are African American.
And what is the woman population in the state of Mississippi? Mississippi has 3 million citizens, right, approximately.
52%.
52% of our citizens are female.
Are female, and in my district, it's 54%.
And less than 7% are African American.
And that's and we say that the representation is supposed to represent the people in your district. There are a lot of people sending the same person with a different name to the Capitol. And they need to send someone that represents who they are.
Someone who had lived in the community, raising 3 African American males, that can be challenging in
Absolutely.
This environment. How do you manage real estate, being an activist, being a minister, being a candidate for the legislature? How do you maintain all of this?
I'm gonna tell you, like I told Bishop, I told the Lord 6 months ago, I said, I don't need to know today. I don't need to know next week. I don't need to know 6 months from now. I used to be the type of person who's really control freak. If you gave me a Christmas present on December 1st, I opened it and I sealed it back up. I could not wait. But now I'm just at that point, at this stage in my life, where I really trust God, right? So that's the only way I could do this, real estate, ministry, running for office. I sleep well at night. I just take it day by day. And knowing that my mom was an activist, I think that spirit just is coming up out of me as well. Because, my mom work for this. She was part of this group called the Welfare Rights Organization. I thought that was her and Miss Mary Ann and Mr. Kaya just kicking up rocks, right? I didn't know it was a real organization until she passed.
Yeah.
And when she passed, I Googled Welfare Rights Organization, found out it was a national organization. Yeah. The governor has put a stigma on the word welfare. They don't call FEMA money welfare, they call it help. They don't call COVID money, which they have $580 million sitting up in, the savings account for the state of Mississippi. They don't call that welfare. But anything, if it has to do with black people, they call it welfare. And there's nothing wrong with the word welfare, and there's nothing wrong with a person needing help in a season in their life, because the word says, take care of the least of these, the orphans and the widows. We are commanded to do that. And my mama did that. And when we would pull up at the welfare office, and as a kid, I was like ashamed. I was like, okay. We would pull up at the welfare office, and the security guard would take off. And they said, Miss Yarbrough coming, Miss Yarbrough coming. My mama knew the rules. She knew the rules. They were sending federal money down, and they were not distributing it to the people who were supposed to receive the money, kind of like that TANF money in USM and Brett Favre.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Right? So it's the same game, but different players. The money is being sent here for Jackson's water and infrastructure, and they want to take it away. If my mama was here, she would be right there with Shoquay saying, hey, I got your back.
And look, well, your mama is here because you are still here and you are carrying on. We're up against the end of this segment of our program, and we're certainly going to have you back many times during your campaign.
Thank you.
But tell the viewers out there what you want them to do.
Listen, it's not just about my district. It's about every House district and Senate district that is on the ballot. Please go and vote. Please register in your district. Please tell a friend. Please, you guys, this is so much bigger than it ever has been in our entire lifetime. They are trying to set us back 50 years and even more. So we need everyone to do your civic duties. Think about those who were beaten, who were murdered, who lost jobs, who were cursed out, who were treated so badly just because they wanted to vote and wanted to register others to vote. So join us, join anybody out there who is doing their civic duty, registering people to vote and spreading the word.
How will people contact you?
They can call me direct on my cell phone, 601-594-8342. I'm on Facebook. I don't have my campaign social media stuff up. That will be up this week. But you can reach me again, 601-594-8342, or find me on social media.
Yes, and can they cash app you or anything to help you with your campaign?
Absolutely. You can go to Act Blue and put in my name, and my link will come up, or you can cash app me at $Friends for S. Moman. And that's Cash App, Friends for FOR S. Moman. And that's my Cash
App. And
App.
that telephone number one more time.
It is 601-594-8342. No donation is too small.
We have been watching, we believe, digital broadcast here with Sharon Moman, a young lady that is committed and prepared for a time like these. As she said, health disparity and other issues, rogue police departments, bills that are traveling through our state. We need someone like Sharon in the legislature. She said she would vote against anything that resembled House Bill 1020. And so we're going to have her back on our show often. This has been Socrates Garrett Live. Y'all stay safe until we meet again. Good day. Good evening. I'm Socrates Garrett, and we're broadcasting live from right here in Jackson, Mississippi. the heart of the Deep South, right here in the African American owned broadcasting studio. We believe digital.com, our own platform. And so it's critically important that in the African American community, we control the narrative. I look forward to receiving opportunities to show and advertise your products for goods and services and to move your brand along in this community.